guys, thank you so much for clicking on my channel. I am Jacinta Mpalienkana, and in this week's video I'm going to share with you 10 tips from billionaires, 10 pieces of advice from 10 different billionaires. I know that if you love money, then that's the very reason why you've clicked on this video. But I have to tell you that neither of these billionaires woke up one morning and said, yeah, I want to become a billionaire, and ta-da, they became billionaires. No, someone had to work very, very, very hard, become absolutely diligent, and apply certain uniqueness or certain tips and magic to make themselves billionaires. So without further ado, let's get started with advice number 1. And this is from Bill Gates. He says that your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning. That's Bill Gates. That means that those unsatisfied customers of yours, those that give you negative reviews, those that post negative stuff on your your network or your networks or your product reviews or whatever, those are the ones that are showing you what you could improve. Those are the customers that you could turn around from rebattling you to becoming loyal customers. So never underestimate a negative review. Tip number 2 is from Warren Buffett, and he says, rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. He says that anything that makes your business lose money is no good. If you aren't seeing returns from a strategy, either improve it dramatically, or throw it out of the window. You know how you fall in love with a project that is not working, and then you spend years and years and years just dreading on this project, and it continues just costing you? Yes, I understand that sometimes we have passions, but remember, if you have other projects that are cash cows, meaning they are bringing in a lot of money, focus on those the most. And the ones that aren't bringing in money, either reevaluate them, do a SWOT analysis, or let them go. And then tip number 3 is from, hold on a minute, Bill Gates. Is it? Yes. In business, by the time you realize you're in trouble, it's too late to save yourself. Unless you're running scared all the time, you're gone. And this means that pessimism can help you identify potentially troublesome areas in your business. I think it also means that you have to be present. If you're a business person, you have to be absolutely present. You cannot realize trouble when the trouble is already gone. When the trouble happens, you have to see the pointers and the signals that trouble is coming. That means you have to be present. You have to be on top of your game. You have to consistently know what's going on in your business and in your market so that you don't get shocked or surprised. And then tip number 4 is Henry Ford. A business absolutely devoted to service will only have one worry about profits. They will be embarrassingly huge. Wow. I'll repeat that one by Henry Ford. A business absolutely devoted to service will only have one worry about profits. They will be embarrassingly huge. Wow. That means that if you're service oriented, if it's not all about money for you, if you go above and beyond to make sure that your clients, your customers are satisfied, they are serviced well, their after sale calls, you follow up, you are only going to be embarrassed by the huge number of customers coming back to order your product, services, or ideas. Number 5 is from Mark Cuban. When you've got 10,000 people trying to do the same thing, why would you want to be the 10,001? Meaning that you've got to be authentic, you've got to be unique, you've got to take the road less traveled. Come up with your own ideas, trust your intuition, trust yourself, and go for it. Don't try to be like everybody else. And then tip number 6 is by Richard Branson. As much as you need a strong personality to build a business from scratch, You must also understand the art of delegation. I have to be good at helping people run the individual businesses, and I have to be willing to step back. The company must be set up so it can continue without me. Wow, that's amazing. You know, all those bosses that are control, freaks, they want to control everything. Their hands are in everything. What are you doing? When are you doing? They don't give you the room to be creative. Dear managers, give your employees room to expand and be creative. Delegate, train them to know what you do. Formulate systems that train your employees to know what to do when you're offsite, or you're gonna do what? Kill yourself with too much work. Okay, rule number 7 is by John Castmantidis. Oh, that's a hard name. Forgive me, John, if you're listening. In your company or industry, work every job in that industry. It's the only way of having a complete understanding of your people and your company. That means that if you own a company, go around and understand what everyone is doing. Collaborate with your employees and learn from them. Find out, what do you do? How do you do it? How do you feel? Engage, know what everybody's doing. At least have an idea. Sit with them, understand what they are going through, what they are doing, and that will make them feel more at home. It will develop more trust, build more rapport, and it will also help you know more about your company. And then advice number 8 is by Igvar Kampard. 10 minutes are not just 1/6 of your hourly pay. 10 minutes is a piece of yourself. Divide yourself into 10 units and sacrifice as few of them as possible in meaningless activities. Most things still remain to be done. Meaning that don't waste time doing useless things, stuff like Facebook, but Facebooking to look for gossip, or social media, taking selfies and all that. If you want to be successful, minimize that or avoid it completely and only use it as a reward when you're done with your daily tasks. Tip number 9 is when there is a crisis, that's when some are interested in getting out, and that's when we are interested in getting in. That is Carlos Slim Hello, one of the richest guys in the world. When there is a crisis, that is when some are interested in getting out, and that is when some of them, that's when they're interested in going in. Meaning that don't be afraid to delve into an industry or niche that seems to be going downhill. Just make sure you do your research beforehand so you have the ability to turn things around with your company. That takes confidence, that takes skill, that takes that kind of mentality that there is nothing you can't do. And then advice number 10 is never count on making a good sale. Have the purchase price so attractive that even a medical sale gives good results. This means that pricing is one of the most important aspects of your business. Don't wing it. Find the perfect balance where any sale, good or bad or medical, can give you good results. Meaning that don't sell yourself short. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave a link of these advice that will lead you to my website so that you can read them and embrace them and make them your own. But one thing I know, that these guys are telling us something that we don't know, we who are not billionaires. So we need to learn from them. You need to learn from them. I need to learn from them so that we can continue manifesting and working towards earning those billions so that we can give back and also live life on our terms. So thank you so much for clicking on my channel. Subscribe.